Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. I am so thrilled you're joining us today. We are taking a highly focused dive into the vital 15 health symptom terms and medical vocabulary you absolutely need to know for Canada. Whether you're living here, working here, or taking an English proficiency test like the CELPIP, knowing exactly how to articulate your physical symptoms and health status is absolutely critical. We're going to break down these essential terms together so you're never left searching for the right word again.
Now, think about this for a second. Do you know the right words to use when calling in sick in Canada? Falling ill in a brand new country can be incredibly anxiety-inducing, right? But it's so much easier when you possess the precise vocabulary for workplace etiquette and medical exams. You don't want to just mumble, I feel bad. You want to communicate your symptoms professionally and clearly.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today. First, symptoms and sensations. Then, treatments and pathogens. After that, body functions and wellness. And finally, practical workplace applications.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, Symptoms and Sensations.
So this brilliantly illustrates a vital difference you absolutely need to know: chronic versus acute. If you're navigating the Canadian healthcare system, let's be real, wait times for specialists can really test your patience. That's usually when dealing with chronic conditions, things that persist for a really long time. On the flip side, we have acute. This means something severe, sudden, and intense, which makes perfect sense why emergency rooms here are typically called acute care units.
Let's see this in action at work. Picture this. You have to miss a big event because of a physical symptom you just literally can't push through. You'd want to say something like, "I deeply apologize, but I won't be able to attend the conference due to a flare-up of my chronic back pain." Using chronic here, that is a 5-star word choice for sure. It instantly tells your boss, hey, this is an ongoing medical issue, which earns you understanding and proper medical leave.
Next up is a great one: nauseating, which basically means causing a feeling of nausea or intense disgust. It's a perfect symptom word. Imagine you're writing a formal complaint to the city about a sanitation issue. Instead of just saying it's disgusting, you write, "I am writing to report a nauseating smell coming from the dumpster behind the restaurant." Boom. Nauseating is a high-level 4-star swap that instantly makes your formal complaint sound way more serious and professional.
Now, let's talk about something a lot of us deal with: stress. In Canadian workplace culture, stress management is a really big deal. So if you're physically exhausted, dealing with that awful brain fog and heavy eyes, you want to use the term insomnia. It means habitual sleeplessness, and it sounds significantly more professional than just complaining that you can't sleep. A doctor might even tell you, since you are suffering from severe insomnia, I highly recommend limiting your caffeine intake.
Okay, so what if those symptoms get worse and you actually have to go to the emergency room? Well, here's how that usually plays out. Step 1, you arrive. Step 2, you head straight to the triage desk. And the very first thing they're going to do is check your blood pressure and your pulse. Your pulse, of course, being the physical rhythm of your heartbeat in your arteries. It is absolutely foundational to know this term when you're navigating Canadian acute care. Moving right along to Section 2, Treatments and Pathogens.
Now, what's really interesting here is how we can kind of gamify these words based on how often you'll actually use them. Look at infection. That is a 5-star everyday survival word. You're going to use this all the time at a walk-in clinic when you're explaining the physical symptoms of a minor illness, like a bacterial or viral infection. Then you have cancer. While it's obviously a critical word, it's more of a 3-star word for daily conversational frequency. But if you're studying for the CELPIP test, you will definitely see it pop up in the context of charity-run fundraisers or the Cancer Research Foundation.
Here is a phrase you definitely want to keep in your back pocket: medical emergency. In Canadian schools and workplaces, having a medical emergency is pretty much the most indisputable reason for missing work. If you tell someone, I have an unexpected medical situation at home and need to reschedule, it commands immediate respect. People will give you the privacy you need for whatever symptoms you or your family are facing, no questions asked. So, if your symptoms point to that infection we were just talking about, you might need antibiotics. These are medicines that specifically target and destroy microorganisms to get rid of those physical symptoms. But, and this is a big but, context is key here. Prescription drugs are strictly controlled in Canada. You are simply not getting a course of oral antibiotics from a doctor unless a bacterial presence is firmly confirmed. They don't just hand them out.
And speaking of bacteria, if you're reading up on restaurant health violations and you suddenly start feeling those nauseating food poisoning symptoms we mentioned earlier, harmful bacteria is almost always the culprit.
These microscopic living organisms are specifically linked to Canada's incredibly strict food safety regulations. All right, so you get your prescription and you head over to the pharmacy. This brings us to a really important word: effect. Legally, a Canadian pharmacist must verbally explain the side effects of a medication to you before they dispense it. It's a 5-star logical word that is super crucial for both writing and speaking, especially when you're discussing the long-term effects a treatment might have on your body.
Let's shift gears now into Section 3, Body Functions and Wellness.
First up in this category is metabolism, basically the chemical processes that keep you alive and ticking. Now, Canada has a very strong active fitness culture. You're going to frequently hear dietitians and personal trainers talking about how to boost a slow metabolism through diet and exercise. It's all about preventing gradual weight gain and keeping those energy levels up. To actually boost that metabolism, though, you need nutrients. These are the substances essential for your growth. In fact, Health Canada's food guide heavily emphasizes getting essential nutrients from a really diverse range of whole foods. And whether you're out there exercising or literally just sitting at a desk all day, you are relying on your muscle. Here's a great little cultural note for you. A lot of Canadians use extended health benefits from their employers to visit physiotherapists when they experience muscle pain. It's actually one of the most common physical symptoms office workers report.
But you know what happens when we don't take care of ourselves? Well, we become unbalanced. Listen to how it's used in this sentence. Consuming an unbalanced diet is one of the leading causes of chronic health issues in modern society. Unbalanced is such a versatile 4-star word. It doesn't just apply to your diet. You'll hear it all the time in social debates about an unbalanced work-life schedule or even emotionally unbalanced states.
And finally, that brings us to Section 4, Practical Workplace Applications.
So here they are, the whole shebang, all 15 vital symptom and health terms we just covered today. From describing the acute nature of a medical emergency to reporting a nauseating smell, managing chronic, insomnia, and understanding how antibiotics fight bacteria, I highly recommend you take a screenshot of this right now. Save it to your phone, study it, and start plugging these words into your daily professional vocabulary.
Just look at that list. You are now totally equipped with the precise, high-level vocabulary you need to articulate your physical symptoms clearly and professionally. But I want to leave you with this final thought to chew on. If these 15 terms are really just the tip of the iceberg, what other crucial vocabulary do you think is hiding in the fine print of your workplace health benefits? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep exploring.